All right, folks, welcome back. It's game number 2 here in the grand finals. Remember, this match is worth $200. Quite a bit of money. It's like winning 2 weeklies in a row, but in one short best of 3. I'm Rifkin casting today with LOTV, and spawning here in the top left side of Terraform. He's up 1-0. It's Beastyqt.
And opposing him in the bottom right-hand corner. Is he going to stay true to the curse? He's got to win the next 2 in a row, and is Bly.
Bly is a very stubborn guy. Doesn't like to lose, doesn't like to die. I wouldn't be surprised if he could bring this back. But I actually have a question for you. So how did this work then? You stayed up all night streaming.
Right.
And you took a nap, and then were awesome enough to come cast this with me.
That's true.
And then are you just going to sleep again right afterwards?
No, I'd probably play a couple of games. Then go out to, I guess, lunch, because it's considered the proper time zone for lunch.
It's a quote-unquote lunch. Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock for me. My lunch, like, everything we cast, no matter what it is, I never get to do lunch on time.
Well, my lunch usually consists of about midnight. Because I wake up at about,
Wow.
5. It's my breakfast, lunch at midnight, dinner at 3 a.m. It goes well.
That's what I'm really sad about. Like, that's what I miss about TwitchCon and anywhere else we've been. I'm looking forward to a BlizzCon. It's like you get to have food with your friends at regular times. Awesome. Yeah, well, also just having food with your friends, of course. But
I want to give a huge shout out to ZPs and Getsu for subscribing to my channel. Oh yeah, thanks, man.
Damn, new subs while casting on another channel. That's some dedication. I guess, yeah, really quick. I mean, I'll ask you to do it at the end of the stream, but if these guys have enjoyed your casting so far, where can they find out more about you?
Oh, well, I mean, even if you guys haven't enjoyed my casting, I'm sure you guys might enjoy my stream a bit more than my casting, so you guys can check me out on my Twitch channel, LIVIB, LIVIBEE. I stream 6 days a week from 7 p.m. PST. Except Monday. Every day except Mondays. So, hashtag passion.
Hashtag passion.
Except I streamed the last 3 Mondays, so that's okay.
Hashtag extra passion. No, everyone always asks me, like, I would love to stream this more. Like, I love doing Archon mode. I love playing Archon mode. Every time I can convince Group to actually play, I always have a great time. But, like, the problem is, the second we're done casting, like, 4 or 5 hours of StarCraft, I just want to, like, get up and move and, like, not sit down in front of more StarCraft. But, like, it would make so much sense, like, oh, we got, like, 3,000 viewers, let's play some games. Like, that would be so nice, but I just can't do it, man. Some Lings are going to catch BC a little off guard, but BC's got more than enough Marines to deal with this.
Yeah, and BC, he really just needs to split his Marines up, but if he does so, he does run the risk of having more Lings actually push out across the map and actually cut off the Marines, but he's not sure how many Marines are, Zerglings rather, sorry, are actually out on the map for Bly, so he has to be careful, but he does manage to pick up that Overlord and get safely back into his natural base, while the bunker is finishing up just in time.
There's so many Marines, though. This is a non-issue. I mean, it's like, hello, Lings. Goodbye, Lings. For Bly's sake, he doesn't rush for a faster third, and he doesn't have a lot of gas to play with either, so I really am curious what direction he plans to take this game. Obviously, just droning at the moment, but frankly, Beastie is going to, what is this, bunker block the third base?
Yeah, I mean, usually don't see a bunker. Maybe an engineering bay because it has more HP. But, I mean, it does the job, especially if you're able to get any units across the map and actually get it inside the bunker, then that's just a bonus. Ooh. But it doesn't look like it's really options to do that.
Liberator coming up, by the way, with the Defenders mode researching, and again, I think we all agree that Defenders mode is a stupid name for this attack mode, but Defender mode on the way.
Damn it. I'm just gonna point out, people in your chat always think that actually people in the world in general always think my laugh is fake. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now that
Livy.
it's an actual laugh. It's like legit.
Livy, I've had to live with this forever. Everyone thinks my laughs are fake and that I'm such a phony, and I just, like, you've heard me in real life, I chuckle at everything because I'm a giggly moron. Like, this is just something we have to live with. People are always gonna criticize
We're just gonna accept that people are gonna forever think that laugh is fake. That's fine. But we'll just see you there at it again.
Sounded so fake, girl. Can you just for once be fucking real? Can you just get your shit together, Livy B?
I'm not gonna laugh again. I'm just gonna live my rest of my life miserable and sad. All right.
The trick is, right, and here's the deal. you start telling lots of bad jokes all the time, so you have a reason to laugh. Then people are like, "Wow, this guy's just a moron," right? That's how I've locked it down.
Okay, we've got it all planned out. All right, Liberator going into defender mode at the natural base. Spore Crawler going down. A Queen takes a hit off, and some drones are actually getting one shot here. But the Queen actually found a very nice nook where it could actually hit that Liberator. Oh, just getting out of that circle just in time before losing its life. Oh, but Bly's got to be careful. There is another Queen off creep. It is going to actually be taken out by that Liberator. And that's actually going to be a little painful for Bly, because once these Liberators get out of hand, he's just going to lose so much mining time, and even possibly the lives of his drones.
I'm trying to think of a good acronym for, like, Defender. Like Defender mode stands for, like, definitely enable firing everyone nearby. Duh. Everyone's wrecked. There you go.
Let's call it Be Wrecked Liberator mode.
Sure, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, you can't target buildings, obviously a bit of a problem. Makes no sense to me, but that's the logic of StarCraft 2. Does lose it to the Spore Crawler. You know what, Blast got a pretty decent creep spread. You know, while this has been going on, Beasty has been building up a fairly good army back at home. There's tanks up. He's just sent off 2 medevacs worth of drops up here to the north, so he's certainly got supply to work with, and Bly has to pick attack or defend. And unfortunately, he's not really in a position to attack, so rushing back home to defend, he should be able to hold these drops. There's a lot of roaches after all.
Yeah, that was actually really lucky for Bly. He had a Ling scouting at the pathing of the medevac, patrolling just down there so that if a medevac does come out, he can actually scout it, and he did. So now he actually turned around with his roaches and should be able to defend against these 2 medevac drops quite easily, especially with the number of roaches he has. Such a large amount of roaches. He would, I must say, Bly would rather be aggressive with his number of roaches than defensive. So Beastyqt actually pushing out with those 2 medevacs, even though not really committing to any actual economic damage, did a great job keeping Bly defensive.
So are you suggesting Bly takes an aggressive defense stance?
Yes.
No, but it is the truth of it, right? Like, if you're busy doing a lot of damage in Beasty's own base, then he's the one who's going to have to pull back. And good defense is a good offense, or however that phrasing goes. Nothing here in the main, though. A couple of Ravagers coming back. Ooh, not going to really be enough to... It'll be enough to distract for the moment, but these drones are getting shredded in the process. Bly sitting here taking some pretty nasty losses early on. And this is something we've seen throughout consistently the series today, where Bly is just down on workers. He'll get to this 50 mark and kind of get stuck there. BC was earlier today on 70 workers, so Bly's on 40. It's just unfortunate to be stuck in those situations. Meanwhile, the roaches do force the tanks to lift up. This abandons the bio, and now Beasty, he should be able to hold this wall. 3 tanks worth of damage is a hell of a lot of damage. These roaches are getting obliterated.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fortunate that the medevacs were there to pick up the tanks when they did, because it completely was able to defend against the roach attack from Bly. So much easier than if, you know, if it was Heart of the Swarm, and you'd have to unsiege your tanks before you could actually load them in a medevac. But I must say, Bly did do a nice job at defending the 3rd base. Like, if he didn't defend if he didn't attack the 3rd base of Beastyqt, then he would be definitely counted out of this game, because Beastyqt's economy would have just skyrocketed so far ahead of Bly's that it would have just been super dicey into the mid-game.
Yeah, macro hasher coming down. I was wondering, I guess Bly overmade drones. He's sitting on 26 out of 16 at his 3rd. He definitely would like to transfer a couple of those over at some point. Ravagers come back to the main. Still that medevac roams around, barely unkilled. This is the downside to not having Mutalisks, and that's why Bly's probably investing in them right now, if not the Corruptors. He just doesn't have a good way to shut down these medevacs.
Yeah, I mean, the Spire is only halfway complete. He's starting his +1 melee upgrade, so I mean, he's transitioning it to the Zergling meter composition, I suppose. But he doesn't have a Baneling nest just yet, only just starting it right now. It's going to be hard dealing with this bio with no Banelings, and especially no Baneling speed.
Yeah, creep getting spread up, cleaned up here in the middle of the map. Big shout out to NothingMan32 for the 7-month resub. Thank you for coming back to the channel one more time. Base in the top right, most likely going to have to get canceled. If Bly doesn't cancel this, it'll be a huge waste of draws.
Yeah, definitely needs to cancel it. Doesn't get the
No.
cancel off, though. That's actually quite devastating for Black. He doesn't have the economy to really make blunders like that over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, he had a small bank, but it definitely wasn't big enough to justify that. Macro Hatchery also in danger here towards the third base. That army's wicked out of position. Ling's running around the main. Nothing here to really defend. He's just going to give this up. Drone's getting pulled away, hoping to just hold the gold, maybe? Bly doesn't have anything to work with here. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, he's got a mass Roach, Ling, and Ravager. He's now morphing in some Banelings, but he did have to sacrifice that third base rather, sorry, to buy him time to morph into Banelings. He was really waiting for that Baneling nest to complete. But now that it has, these are slow Banelings. These are waddling Banelings and into siege tanks. That actually is a little dicey.
Yeah, not to mention the Liberator's going to siege up right here as well. Crimson Ball going down, but not going to hit those Liberators, sadly. Pushing through on top of the tanks, hoping to get some shots off. Tanks are in the mineral lines, actually, so the drone's oddly safe. They're in the dead zone of the tanks. Picks up and falls back just a little bit. Meanwhile, these Liberators still going strong. Bly actually cleans up towards the north, which is quite nice, but Beasty, I don't know, like every time I look at this count, you know, his upgrades are looking pretty good. For the first time, the army supply looks a little bit even, I guess, but Bly just, he was missing bases for so long. You know, no mining on that third, over-droning as well. That over-droning, too, feels so bad because he would have had a much bigger army.
Yeah. I feel like it was okay, though, because actually behind this, Bly was making that gold base, so transferring the drones from that third original base to the gold base didn't set him as far behind as you would have thought it would if he had just completely just lost that base and was trying to rebuild a third base as we're speaking now. I mean, he does have quite a large bank that he can really spend on whatever he wishes at this point. He really needs to spend the bank really soon, though, because Beastyqt is going to be pushing out with a quite hefty, large fire force.
Now, he's got a lot of the Lings on the way, and maybe we think can contemplate Banelings, but there's still no centrifugal hooks, so no way to actually roll those in on or off creep, frankly. I guess he was hoping to bank up and transfer to Broodlords, Ultralisk, whatever really expensive late game units he wants to, but the problem is he needs things now, not later.
Yeah, definitely. Hive's completing up now here for Bly. 12 more Roaches in production as well. Doesn't really want to be spending his money on Roaches at this point, though, because there's just so many Marine tank.
I mean,
also, this coming going down as well behind this. I don't think it's going to be done in time by the time Bly needs it to be done, though.
Right, and that's the problem. Bly's got the means, he's got the money, he just doesn't have the time.
He's got the will, he's got the power, but he doesn't have the time. Alright, well, Planetary Fortress under attack here.
Yeah, this was a mistake. I don't know why I thought the Lings could possibly kill that.
All the Lings just absolutely get demolished in the engagement, and now Bly's supply has dropped to 128 supply. Ultralisk have no almost complete. He can build a couple of Ultralisks with his bank, but he actually decides to spend his money on Corruptors rather than spending up for the Ultralisks.
There's also something important as well. There's Adrenal Glands coming in. Let's not forget just how good Adrenal Glands is in Legacy of the Void. We don't see these too often, so to bring them up real quick, they have double the effectiveness, 40% attack speed instead of 20% in Legacy of the Void. Now against Marines, Lings are still going to be somewhat useless. Against Marauders, a little bit better, but of course killing buildings is what the Adrenal Glands really lend themselves into.
Yeah, Beastyqt is just getting really annoying here with these Liberators, especially abusing this high ground cliff. And that's exactly why Bly wanted these Corruptors, so he can actually target down the Liberators and get rid of them once and for all. But behind this, Beastyqt is getting super close to maxed out, getting plus 3 armor as well for his Fire Force. And once that's complete, it's just going to be so hard to kill Beastyqt's army.
We do have chitinous, chitinous plating, thank you very much, completing soon with that plus 3 armor, so if nothing else, the Ultras will be able to take a hit, and Ultras really don't need a lot of upgrades to do damage, but this is such a weird composition. Again, no Baneling speed this late in the game is kind of crazy, but I guess if you can get Ultras out, you won't need the Banelings as badly?
I don't know, I mean, all I'm seeing here, Richard, is that Beastyqt is actually defying the group curse.
So far, yes. I mean, the supply counts look awful for Bly. This game looks like it's all but over, but again, Bly's a very stubborn guy, and I've seen him win really stupid games. So As much as I would count any other Terran player out in this scenario, or sorry, Zerg player out in this scenario, I wouldn't count Bly out. But this is looking way too good for BC, no question about it.
I feel like Bly just decided, I'm gonna play on a handicap and not get Baneling speed this game.
I really don't think that's the case. He's finally getting it now. This was just probably he didn't realize it. I imagine Bly's his computer right now just like cursing every single Ukrainian curse word we can think of, and then some English ones mixed in there too.
Yes, of course. Can't count out curse words. Gotta
Curse
count
words
them
are
all
fun, by the way. I'm obviously not gonna go spouting off a bunch now, and it sucks because we've had like moms write into us in the past about like how much they dislike us cursing on the channel. But yo, curse words are just fun, and I don't know why.
in. Yes. I agree.
Oh dear. Trolling Mark II, perhaps? Fusion Core coming down, 4 starports simultaneously.
Yes. 4 starports, Fusion Core. We're probably going to see a bit of a battle cruiser transition here from Beastyqt. I mean, why not? It worked last game, where he kind of turtled on his side of the map, made a whole bunch of, you know, air units. He went Sky Terran. Sky Terran in the untraditional sense, where he just got mass battle cruisers.
I'm a little sad we don't see Link run-bys going on right now, but I guess Planetaries being all over the map makes that a little bit harder to do. Baneling's going to roll in with the Ultras on the front lines, trying to get on top of these tanks, but a swamp, or sorry, hey, oh, I can't even English right now.
English part. The swarm.
The swarm, there you go. So
choke point, where that was actually a really nice engagement for Beastyqt. Unfortunately, Bly did manage to break him.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I derped so hard because it was just like I couldn't believe the Ultras are taking those hits, but like champions, they bust through, and now there's 2 drops heading towards the main. Bly should have the capability to deal with this. And that supply count looking a little bit more even, let me be.
I agree, but the economy is still quite hindered here from Bly.
Oh, absolutely, but look at the Marines get shredded, oh my god. This is...
1 Ultralisk.
I'm just saying, this
4 Corruptors.
I'm not saying that Bly is going to win this game, but what I'm saying is Bly has now evened up this game a lot more than he should have, and it's just Ultralisks, man. It's not even that I actually like that Ultras got a buff. I just think that it's stupid that Terran doesn't really have a reliably great way to deal with them, if we're going to be completely honest here. Balance line included with that.
Actually, Liberators kill Ultralisks super quick, but it's all about positioning. Like, if Ultralisks are going aggressive and then the Liberators go into defensive mode, they kind of just cut off choke points. It makes it super hard.
I don't disagree, but the thing is, it's still like if it's just a Liberator, right? Like no bio underneath it, it's still like 5 shots. No, it's actually 6 shots to kill an Ultralisk. So it's not fast, is my point. Whereas you watch an Ultras just cleave down a Terran bio army, and you're just like, wow.
It's pretty awesome. But the transition to battle cruisers is what I feel like is gonna win the game here for Beastyqt. There is Corruptors on the field though for Bly. Like, this is something that differed from game number 1, where he literally didn't even have a Spire when he found out that Beastyqt was making that transition into battle cruisers.
One of the key things though is there are no air upgrades. So you could have a whole slew of Corruptors in the sky, but if there's no upgrades on them, they can't really take hits. Vikings will do well, battle cruisers will do well. I mean, Bly could have a maxed out supply of Corruptors that might not actually work. The one big thing though is to get more Vipers, and I like this. Whether it's abducting the battlecruisers into the Corruptors, whether it's parasitic bombing the Vikings, they're units that complement each other very well, and very importantly, no less.
Yeah, for sure. Now some Roach players going down here to the bottom left. Fortunately, there are 2 missile turrets. He scans as well on top of that, and a Liberator as well trying to defend this base. So there's no way that this small hit force of Roaches is actually going to do any damage to this. Right on the top middle side of the base.
I don't think Caustic spray this command center. I guess it's forced it to lift.
Yeah, that's possible. The battle cruisers have been revealed now, actually, from Beastyqt. So Bly can actually be well informed to actually start the Corruptor upgrades and production.
Okay, so real question is not so much about composition, but more about these upgrades. BC's upgrades look really good. He's getting vehicle plating as well, so the battlecruisers are going to be very well armored. And the reality is, while the Ultralisk will not die incredibly fast under the battlecruisers, The question is whether the battlecruisers can stop the Ultras from pushing in. I mean, even here, once again, okay, at the bottom of the map, just tears apart any bio they find.
Yeah, and this is actually really strange that Bly is sitting at 188 supply, suddenly has gotten, you know, a few mining bases, and taking even more mining bases. Like, how has this game continued on for this long and with Bly in the supply lead?
Yeah, like I told you, Livy, don't count this guy out so quick. He's just kind of ridiculous. He's kind of a ridiculous motherfucker who just will not die. He is, when you watch those movies and you got that one gangster that just won't go down, like that's Bly, basically. But, okay. Parasitic Bomb come down on all the Vikings, completely removes the Vikings from play. Battlecruisers end up using model cannons, though, and these Corruptors don't stand a chance. Now, the Ultralisks are going to try and shoot through these buildings, but here comes the Yamato cannons to finish some of them off.
Yeah, and these Battlecruisers actually shooting actually really rapidly. At the third base here for Beastyqt as well, another Ultralisk got in to demolish another mineral line of Beastyqt.
But despite how rapidly a battlecruiser fires, it still only hits for 11, and these Ultras have 8 armor, so they take a minute of time to go down, as we see over here towards that third. Lifts up the command center to keep it alive. Nowhere for these Ultras to really go. Getting out of there is probably his best bet. I don't think killing the starports is worth it.
Yeah, especially since he can just lift them up.
Yeah, Beasty is down to 32 workers though, which is normally a bad thing. But because it's the late game, there's a couple of mules and not a lot of mining bases, 32 SCVs is actually totally fine.
Yeah, not bad. Oh, Yamato Cannon actually taking out one of those Ultralisks. That actually was really nice here for Beastyqt. The fact that Beastyqt has the air, I guess, domination. He's dominating the skies right now on Terraform, and I feel like Bly, he just doesn't have enough to contest against the battlecruisers. He's trying to win the ground army, but he's one of his bases did get taken out. The supply lead now he's actually lost that as well.
Yeah, it's actually turned around. I really don't know what to say about this too, because for Beasty, it's like, okay, cool. Were you trolling? Was it serious? He's done it twice in a row, so I'm assuming serious. But this composition relies on him getting so many battlecruisers, not just sitting with like 5 or 6. Now he's finally hit that number where he's got a ton of battlecruisers. Now we might soon be able to start walking across the map. I think, funny enough, last game ended around this point. It's going on a little bit longer, I guess. We'll see if it's actually long enough to make a huge difference. But I still continue to expand. I mean, seriously, you can't stop this guy. He just will not give up, no matter what. No chance. He's just continuing that production. He's actually continuing bio production currently, but I feel like that's just to support his battlecruiser fleet. Linger on by here towards the south. These will chip away at starports pretty quickly. Look at those adrenal glands really go to work. That tank lad died immediately. But of course, still struggles to deal with a lot of bio. They're outnumbered pretty heavily. Top right's gonna have this drop need to be dealt with. Still a very important mining base for Bly.
Yeah, definitely. And now, actually, Beastyqt is going to push out with this battlecruiser force into the gold base here in the middle of the map and actually take out the hatchery.
Bly, he can't deal with this. There's just no way that he deals with this. There's the warp in. Reinforcing. He warps on top of his own self. What the fuck?
Yeah, like...
Well, at least he used it. FML, okay, that's a mistake.
Energy on those 5 battlecruisers too, which is quite unfortunate because he could actually use the Yamato cannon on those battlecruisers for the Ultralisks. But I mean, nevertheless, he is dominating this game still. It was looking a little bit crazy when the Ultralisks were actually tearing through some structures on Beastyqt's side of the map, but now he's gotten back to the groove of things, taking out expansions left, right, and center, dropping at the bottom while pushing out the top of the battlecruisers.
Yeah. And, I've been swayed over. I'm pretty sure BC's got this game.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like BC he's making that transition into the Mass Sky Terran Ravens, battle cruisers. He's getting all the upgrades.
Well, there are 11 Corruptors or so, a little bit more than that now, actually. 18 in total, 8 Vipers. I mean, you could Parasitic Bomb every single battlecruiser here, and it still would not remove them from play. It's going to really come down to those Corruptors, and what I do fear is that those Corruptors are going to get Yamato Cannons. Like, he's just going to be able to immediately remove 11 of them. Yamato Cannons going to be really good in that regard. But Marine Force pushing to the south, you know, this really reminds me of like old school Supernova stuff you'd watch on a stream. Like, you push on one side with the Marines, you push on the other with the battle cruisers, and you just warp in wherever the hell you want afterwards. Like, this game is looking pretty damn good for BC, and frankly, close to over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bly, he does have a pretty decent number of Corruptors Vipers, and if he gets a lot of...
Oh, God.
I mean, look how clumps of these battlecruisers are. They're completely stacked. If you can get off some parasitic bombs, the parasitic bombs actually do stack. But the spread is so real here.
Parasitic Bomb is only 90 damage, that's the problem. And battlecruisers have a lot of health. Even if they do stack, and even if they take that Parasitic Bomb damage, they're still prevailing through. Because while this may or may not go well for BC up here in the south, okay, actually finally gets cleaned up. He had 2 drops going just ham in the main. But last couple Corruptors are going to go down, and looks like the battlecruisers will reign supreme.
And I feel like Beastyqt might be getting a nice whopping $200 today for his efforts of massing battlecruisers.
Yeah, I mean, last night we totally forgot. It's up 1-0. This is game number 2, and this might just be the end of everything. Bly has no more income. He's got no more bases to mine from. Last couple drones going down, and frankly, with what does he have? 3 Ultralisks? As good as they are, they won't win out this game.
Yeah, he's got 3 Ultralisks, and he's really hoping of these 3 Ultralisks he can actually contest against the mass battlecruiser that went home to repair. Yeah. Taps out. Like the 3 Ultralisks aren't magical, they're not wizards. And Beastyqt played valiantly, played amazingly, taken the series 2-0.
Alright, well, congratulations to Beasty, congratulations to Nurchio. Beasty with $300, Nurchio with $200. Oh, sorry, no, say that wrong. Nurchio with $300, Beasty with $200. And thus concludes our show matches for today. We are going to hit up a small last